You're listening to the PT Pintcast, where smart people in healthcare come to make noise. Here's your host, Jimmy McKay.
Here's the best part. Eventually, I'll just make an actual intro for us. So it's not just the generic podcast intro. Well, the thing is, you don't want to just run into a show and create all the elements. And then 3 weeks later, you're like, this isn't great.
Right.
Wait till you do it a bunch of times before you do that. So good rainy Monday morning to you. Welcome to Healthcare Marketing Doesn't Work. Welcome to the show where we break down real marketing stories behind from healthcare and beyond. And we just want to steal the good elements. I want not theory, not buzzwords or hashtags. I feel like Andrea also dislikes hashtag holidays. Just real things companies tried. Companies are spending millions upon millions of dollars testing out what works and what doesn't. Please recognize this for what it is. This is research that you can steal. Things from inside healthcare and outside healthcare to figure out what works and why it didn't. Because marketing doesn't work until you understand why it does and doesn't. All right, so first story. We didn't talk about this, I don't think, but this was very difficult to miss if you were anywhere in marketing. McDonald's CEO 2 weeks ago for $1 billion. Andrea, could you have named the McDonald's CEO?
No. I could not have.
No, could not have. Same. Chris Kempczynski posted the video promoting do you know what the sandwich is he was promoting?
Like a fish sandwich or something? I don't even know what the sandwich is.
It's just a new burger. It's called the Big Arch.
Big Arch. Yes. Okay. That's right.
So I was going to see like, well, all right, after all this hoopla, did we at least get some product name recognition? Because several times during the little video, the internet noticed he kept calling it the product. And he took tiny, awkward, non-regular human being eating things sized bites. It looked like a proof of life video almost.
Exactly.
Like blink 3 times. So naturally, it must have also been a slow news day, or we're just tired of politics or whatever. So the internet just grabbed it and was like, we're just going to drag you up and down. Memes exploded. Of course, other fast food brands jumped in. And suddenly McDonald's had $1 million of free attention. MarketWatch estimating $18 million in earned media value. So here's the question. Janet Jackson's nipple didn't accidentally pop out. I think the statute of limitations. They had to know that this was something. They had to know, right? There was this stage. Like, where do you think this was? I don't think I've ever been in a large enough organization to see this happening. But like, what happened here, Andrea, from your PhD?
Happened? So the jury's still out if they knew if it was like, was this intentional? I think there's one camp that says yes, one camp that says no. Someone may have listened to a junior or brilliant marketer or PR person, and I don't know how it got through all of the rounds unless the person at the top making these decisions is really cool and and trust their team.
Yeah, because there's so many, you know how this is, even at smaller brands. We know how many checks and balances there are, and people be like, is this on brand? Should we do this? Does it deserve another edit? There's no way they put this guy on a live stream or something that looked like it was like hey, everybody, this is just Chris, and I'm sitting in the McDonald's lab. Even the room he was sitting in from memory looked sterile.
It did. And, so I don't know their brand otherwise. I'm not a McDonald's consumer. If this was their brand, then cool. Let's put this guy out there and be awkward. But I don't think this is their brand.
I don't think it is either. I think their brand is trying to be, if you've been in a McDonald's, and I've been in less and less of them in the last couple of years, but like, I think their brand is like good and clean, and we're not trying to be the Starbucks of burgers, because that would cost too much, and that's not really what we are. That's what someone else can be. We're trying to be the cheaper alternative. We're going to be everywhere. Look, he's in a room with like a glass wall, very clean cabinets, just not restaurant-y. Like, would you carpeted floor? Like, would you want to eat there?
No.
You don't eat on carpeted floors, right? Like how many restaurants have you been to where there's carpeted floors? Things get spilled where human beings eat. He's holding it like it's the new iPhone in a box. The fries are positioned. There's no way this is real in my opinion.
No, maybe they took the advice of like overproduce doesn't work, make it real and raw to the extreme without guidelines, because this is what this is.
So why does awkward content spread faster than polished, slick, Marvel quality movie stuff?
Are you asking me? Or yeah. So I think it's because commercials used to be polished and have to have a big budget and all of that. We're sort of in this time now where social media is not polished. It's real and it's raw, right? And that's where people are spending their time and what they're paying attention to. And this, I think, was supposed to say authenticity. Like, this is who we are. Look at us. We have our CEO. He's a normal guy and he's eating this burger.
So if he's awkward, just present him as is. You're never going to make that guy cool. Maybe that's not the point. The point was just like, here he is. And then can we get, again, from Market Watch, $18 million in earned media value?
Right.
If a hospital CEO did this, would it work or be a disaster?
And so that's where I was going to go. And I think that's where we're going, right? Is like, what can we take for healthcare? How many organizations have you worked in or worked with or observed that have done videos because someone was like, you need to do videos? And they have their executives on screen and it's like clearly scripted. They're uncomfortable. It's like a weird setting. And they're not happy to be doing the thing. But then that's like what ends up on the website.
Or I've worked in organizations where they're like, all right, the decision has been made. We're going to make some more videos. And then I'm sitting in the room. Again, I've always been like a mid-level guy. I don't want to be the honcho. And they're like, well, we're going to do videos. It's going to be the leadership. And I'm like, no one in this room should be on a video. I've said that. I'm like, none of you will pull this off well. Yes, we will. I worked for a healthcare organization that spent millions of dollars on creating a commercial and then running commercials. And then halfway through, tell me if this was a power move or did this sign my death warrant? Halfway through, I was like, I would like to not be on this project anymore because I do not see the way we're doing it. It will succeed. So I'll go work on something else. And I did that. And then the TV commercials didn't work, using air quotes here, didn't work. And then you know what the verdict was? TV doesn't work. And I was like, no, you did ads bad. So here's what it was. It was supposed to be this human healthcare brand. And it was a guy who looked like he was selling you something mutual life insurance.
Yep.
In a room with many leather-bound books that smelled of rich mahogany, telling you why you should get your grandma or your mom to be cared by their clinicians. And I was like, are the clinicians in the room? Now, this person was a healthcare practitioner, was a licensed healthcare provider.
Was an executive. He or she was an executive.
Was dripping with executives. And I was like, are you selling me a reverse mortgage on my home? Or are you trying to get me to have my mom work with your PTs? I was like, where are the PT? There's no human element. But here's what it was. If we're going to spend millions of dollars, we're going to spend it on our C-suite because those are our leaders. And I was like, those were not the people you should have put on TV. Sorry.
Right. And depending on the audience, those aren't the people that your audience wants to hear from.
I guess if we were to compare apples to pears, at least closer to oranges, right? Healthcare to McDonald's, like, who is the audience at McDonald's? Is it the mom making the decision on the fly?
Who's there? So I have to tell you, Jim, I haven't had fast food in 25 years. My children have never had fast food. I'm not like, oh, look at me. I'm so anti, like, it's like, lifestyle medicine. I wouldn't touch that. Even if I had nothing, no other option. I think it's
geographically, socioeconomically driven. It's like, and then it's happenstance. It's like,
I think you're right. And so maybe it's the busy mom. And I think there's not anything wrong with it, right? Like, I think it's probably fine and it's probably much better than it was at some point, or maybe worse, some of the products, but it's young people, it's socioeconomic. And you see this in some of their other commercials where you're clearly like, oh, I know who the audience is for this. It's like young people, they're active or they're doing whatever. Maybe it's moms. I don't know who the audience was supposed to be for this.
I don't know. Awkward, but we're talking about it. So, hey, go try the big arch. I thought the layup could have been Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, their nephew is now a college football player, pretty popular. Now there's NIL deals. You can essentially be paid for being a college athlete.
Right.
His name is Arch Manning. It felt like the product was called the Big Arch.
Missed opportunity.
It feels like it was a missed opportunity. I felt like the psychologically the drivers, authenticity we mentioned, participation. The internet just didn't watch the video; they joined the joke.
Yep.
I feel like that's why it quote worked or did not work. Second story. I'll get the image up on a screen in a second. But are you familiar with Magnum chocolate? It's like a bougie chocolate brand, like
a dark brown label, I think, with gold letters.
Yes. They are launching a marketing stunt in London. And I like how they're doing it in a city. Why? More people. And let's just get some buzz about it, because spending, I don't know, a couple $10,000-$15,000 in the subway, you're going to hit a lot of people. They pumped chocolate scent. They're not doing sound. They're not doing visuals. They are literally making the London tube, I guess we would call it, smell like chocolate. And playing sounds of people biting into their ice cream, because it's like the hard shell with ice cream inside. Right. The goal there, a multi-sensory brand experience. Some commuters loved it. Others said it smelled like chocolate mixed with subway sweat.
Oh, not good.
If you've been in a subway, I haven't been to London, but I'm going to guess it smells a little like the New York City subway system, which I'm familiar with.
It was so much cleaner. I don't know. It felt cleaner to me, but that's right? Like my baseline is.
Yeah, it's still an underground tube with a bunch of people walking around in it, right? Like it's not like the best air circulation. And like chocolate's hit or miss. First of all, chocolate for me, one of the top 2 things for me to eat in my life. But there are certain moments I don't want to eat it. Like I don't want to eat chocolate first thing in the morning. When do people commute? First thing in the morning. While I'm running a marathon, and there were like those goos, like those energy things, and there was like chocolate flavor. I'm gonna be like, I love chocolate. I would die. Not then. So anyway, my question is this sensory marketing genius? Gimmick, bad ads, bad money, marketing spend? What are your thoughts? I mean, we're talking about it.
We're talking about it. So I like it. I also agree if it's like chocolate mixed with Subway, not good. Good. It's like Abercrombie and Fitch. I mean, I know they're maybe not in the most positive light right now, but when I was in college, like you walk in and it's like smells like
19-year-old sweaty person. I don't know where we going.
It was like cologne and perfume,
over cologned, and it
was like piped through though. That was their thing, and they had like loud music, and it was sort of the environment that age, that demographic wanted to be in, and so you sort of like felt like you belonged, and you leave, and you're like, yes, that's the smell. Yeah, I don't know if it works for chocolate. I like chocolate, but maybe I don't want it in a Subway.
I don't want it in my nose holes in the middle of my morning commute. Maybe. I think this is more of just a context failure. I think they designed a great experience. I don't know if I would have done it in underground tubes with bad airflow. Like I might have done this.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's like in a grocery store. They pay for like where the product is.
Like where it is. I like the fact that it's not where it is. I might have done it at like a street fair. Do you know what I mean? Like outdoors, where it's like mixed with just like a park, right? Go to Central Park and be like, I don't know. I mean, Central Park, your relaxation station or something like that. Or as you're doing loops, like, what is that?
Like a music festival or something. Like,
a music festival, right? Yeah. So it smells like sweat. At least the sweat is outdoors there. So I guess the question is, chocolate mixed with Subway sweat, is it good?
Not good.
I think the healthcare lesson is you can design the environment, not just the message. And when I saw this story pop up, I thought, what's the lesson? Because again, we're trying to talk to healthcare providers, healthcare practitioners, big organizations, small. I forget what country it was. Some country provides free subway rides if you stand in front of a machine and do 10 squats.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's understanding the environment. Because then all of a sudden the juxtaposition is, why is that person standing in front of a ticket machine doing squats? And then you go look, and then you're like, 10 squats and saves me $7. Like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. All right, bang, bang, bang. You position a camera 30 yards off to the side in public. You don't need permission to film in public. And now there's your ad campaign.
So good. So I worked with a PT brand and I had proposed for a new location that was like far away from any of their other locations, a completely new market. It was a commuter friendly area. I said, let's get some billboards up at a train station.
Yeah.
Like this takes that to the next level.
Yeah.
Like this isn't just a sign, right? This is, let's do something. Let's get them engaged.
Yeah. Going back to the chocolate, Ben thinks it makes him think of Oompa Loompa working hard, man. You're right. Like we're in the tunnels. I think the takeaway here again was the second is you can design the environment whenever you put something normal. A normal thing in an abnormal place makes the thing remarkable. There's an Instagram channel that I'm dumbfounded. Not one PT brand that I've seen has stolen this. Have you seen? It's called like Bunker Bus or Battle Bunker Bus. It's a guy, former military dude, who drives around to gym parking lots or festivals, and then he's like, "Give you $100 if you can do 10 pull-ups." Huh. And he's got like 3 people filming it all. He started with just one camera, and he's just like, "Do some pull-ups." But then, of course, he's like, "Who are you? I'm a mom. What are you doing here?" It's like it's a 60-second doc in every video, but it's about I tried to do this, by the way, at a brand we are very familiar with, and we bought the pull-up bar. We never brought. I wasn't there by the time we even brought it. I was like, "So you're gonna go recruit PT students?" They're like, "Yes," and I'm like, "What's your setup look like?" Like, it's a table with a tablecloth. I'm like, keep going.
Some tchotchkes.
And they're like, "We're going to have like a laptop screen with a sizzle reel looping." I'm like, "Got it." "We're going to give away some candy." Okay. Maybe we pump in some chocolate smell. Keep going. And I'm like, "Now zoom out. Like, just walk around. Like, you and I do this innately. Maybe average people don't." I'm like, what is everybody else doing? Not to copy, just to be like, do we stand out or blend in? What's the answer?
Right. And this goes back to the article Larry wrote, like you're spending $100,000 to show up and just like blend in at CSM.
Well, that's not a good idea. Well, neither is spending $1,000 at 100 events.
Right.
What are you spending your money on? So to have an organization do something like changing the environment, let's throw chocolates out. But so I would challenge healthcare organizations. What's your waiting room experience? Does it look like a lawyer's office, an accounting office, a pediatrician's office? Like, for some reason, pediatricians are like, "We got it. We understand the assignment. Make it fun." Who's the audience? Parents, but make the kids just occupied. Parents are happy.
Parents are happy. Done. Easy. Well, they get it. There's like a fish tank and there's, stuff. Like my kids go to a pediatric dentist and there's literally like a climbing jungle gym rock wall. It's amazing. I'm like, this is what'd that thing cost? Right. One time fee. And now the kids are like, "Hey, you gotta go to the dentist." Like, "Oh," and you're like, "Rock climbing wall." And they're like, it's they
like
also,
that meme.
Every time give them a balloon. They can like guess how many marbles or like things are in the jar. They get it's like, why are we not doing this everywhere? The version of that.
There's an age somewhere in a human society. As soon as someone hits like 15, we're like, "Yeah, just be boring like the rest of us." Who cares? All right, story. I think hospitals and clinics could learn from, I think, hotels and restaurants and ad agencies in the space, which is how do we make it?
I will say, hospitals, one more point on that. My little guy was in the hospital for a little while when he was 18 months, and they had one room that was donated, the Izzy Foundation, and they made it like super interactive, and it was like a fairy tale. Like you literally open the door, and it was in the PICU unit. 1 floor down, and you open the door and you go in and you're like, "Oh my goodness, this is so fun and so cool. I'm not in a hospital." And it's amazing. And it's a case study.
Right. When you're in the hospital, where do you not want to be in the hospital? So make it not like, it sounds simple when you say it. The problem is, of course, you and I have been in meetings where you're like, "You want to spend what on a rock wall? How does that make us money?" And you're like, "So it doesn't," except it does.
It does. Right. It doesn't. The ROI on the rock wall.
Can we bill for the rock wall? Like, short answer, no. Long answer, no. But it does differentiate us. So I'm not saying everybody needs a rock wall. I'm asking, what's your chocolate smell in your lobby, or what's your rock wall? Okay. We we have more stories. What was oh yeah. Okay. NFL. We talked about my friend Chris's prostate cancer charity. Really, it's an awareness that's Man Cave Health. And then I saw this in the NFL. You saw this? The NFL was doing it?
No, I didn't see that part.
Prostate cancer awareness campaign partner with the NFL and NFL players. They use humor and sports culture to encourage screening instead of medical messaging. Nobody at any point is making fun of prostate cancer. What they're doing is they're poking fun at the reasons you might not get tested. I said this before. I sort of got looked at like, cute, Jimmy, but that's a little too much. The old school check of prostate cancer was like the funny image, right? How would they do it on SNL? Rubber glove, jar of Vaseline. Why don't you just drop your drawers and this, you might feel a little pressure, right? Like none of that is fun.
Right.
That's not how you test anymore. It's now roll up your sleeve, get a blood test, which takes as long as it does to draw one vial of blood. And then you're going to see if you have markers that might require you to go for further testing. So my spin was, hey guys, getting tested for prostate cancer. It's not drop your pants, it's roll up your sleeve. So it's like, remove the objection. The other is, can you use humor? And the answer is yes. Never make fun of the patient, never make fun of the person, make fun of the emotional driver of that, which is, it sounded more like a locker room conversation, which is a lot of the times where people make decisions about what they do and what they value. Like people, as smart as we know, the research says, yeah, but my 3 bros on my beer league 40 plus hockey team said that that's lame. Therefore, I will never do that. So I think the NFL doing this is a great idea. The NHL had a program last year, and I loved the name. Are you a hockey fan even remotely?
Remotely, yes.
It was called Get Body Checked, because that's a phrase we use, body check. And they partner with a few players to sort of do it. So I like the levers that they pull. I always like to look into like what's the psychology, authority, athletes carry trust, cultural relevance. The message showed up when people were paying attention. They weren't asking them to tune in at Saturday morning at 7 a.m. to listen to Health Hour, brought to you by insert hospital system. They were like, this is going on during football games. And then emotional reframing, instead of fear, it was using camaraderie. And we are big, dumb social animals. Brilliant idea. So kudos to the NFL for sort of doing something like that.
Great idea. I mean, again, like how do we do this smaller scale?
Okay. So my thoughts were, I feel like our format of our show going forward should be very, very simple. Where I give you an idea, Andrea gives you an idea, a story that actually happened in or out of healthcare. We say what happened, details, facts. Then so what, and then now what.
Now what?
So the so what was like sort of the drivers, like why does that matter? The now what, healthcare marketing should partner with existing culture more often. Like, why wouldn't you? Sports partnerships, community events, cultural storytelling. I'm going to need someone to explain to me why these are bad ideas and why we don't do them more often. Instead of, I have a doctoral degree and I went to certifications and we do insert modality. Like, so go fish where the fish are already in barrels. Am I wrong here?
No. And I think, it's no one else is doing it. We can't do that. We've always done it this way. And it probably feels scary, risky, expensive.
Yeah.
But there's always a way to do it.
I am working with a brand now. Will not say who it was. And I want to respect why. Ultimately, the plan was, I gave a plan. One person agreed to the plan. The other person, all of a sudden, we're 80 yards down the field, was like, whoa, stop that plan. What are we doing? Explain this to me again. And I was like, okay. And then the response in the email was, nobody else on our team is doing anything like this. And I was like,
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Did you want me to just run the same play as everybody else? You could have just gave me the playbook. I could run a play. My man, I could run a marketing play. Eyes closed. We done by noon. I'll be on the beach by 5:30. Don't worry about it.
Still getting paid the same thing.
Still getting paid the same thing. Do you want me to run the plan, or do you want me to come up with a better plan because the other marketers aren't doing that? How's that going for you? Why am I here then? If they are already running the play, why am I here? So hearing you say that at least validates what I'm saying, which, well, no one else is doing it.
No one else is doing it.
But if I can back it up with a clear, logical story, Like, beware of the person who rushes you through the example. Who does that? Used car salesman. Oh, no, don't worry about it. This is the new model. It's good. I am from New York. I am from the Bronx. I can talk louder than you and faster than you. Beware when I start doing that, unless I'm just excited. But if I'm trying to convince you of something and I'm talking real fast and I'm like, don't worry about it. Just go. We'll talk about that later. Red flags. And I literally sat down and I was like, I will walk you through every step and why I'm doing this and not 10 other things. And when we were done, it was, can you guarantee the success of this plan? And I looked deep in their eyes and I said, nope.
No.
I can guarantee I will execute exactly what I just said, and that the reasons I made that plan are in my mind. And if we come to an agreement, which is where I get a lot more sleep at night because I moved my own goalposts. My job is not to get you to do or believe anything. My job is to get you to understand what I just said. And as soon as that is achieved, I shut up. And if you want to do that, great. And if you don't want to do that, also great. I make suggestions, you make decisions. So ultimately we went in that direction, but I stopped and I recognized no one else is doing that. That's why this feels icky and scary. What are some good community to me is still wildly underleveraged. Like community events, well, they're not about us. Ding, 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 ding. A 5K, but we're not putting it on?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Ding, 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 ding. Be there. What are some things that you've tactically done and seen community-wise, grassroots? I don't care what it is. There's no wrong answer in my brain.
So much. So here's what's hard about community. So I'm a huge fan and I continue to push this. The people who are in charge of the budget always want the ROI, right? I cannot give you the ROI on us going to this community event. Outside of PT, but still in healthcare, I had built a marketing organization from the ground up, and I ended up with a large community relations organization because ultimately that's what I realized needed to happen. We're growing, we're acquiring new clinics. So we're growing through acquisition, we're growing through de novo. We wanted to enter really competitive markets. I'm like, we need to be there. We can't just like put an ad out. And so we had boots on the ground. And it was amazing because there were so many it was brand awareness, so many good connections. We like rented an ice cream truck and gave away ice cream and had like our label, like, easy stuff, right? Like it takes people and it takes trust and buy-in from the people who are giving you the money to do it. And ultimately a lot of moms came in and they were like, oh yeah, I saw you at the XYZ.
You pay attention.
Like, we were at 5Ks. Oh yeah. Oh, I saw your booth. You were doing whatever it was. So yeah, like we can't necessarily, and we added that to our, how did you hear about us? So we at least directionally would know like people have heard about us or not. It's worth the investment, but you can't be, so I will say like, how do you make this successful is you have to have pillars of like what you're willing to support. Your audience is going to be there. Right. And then you have a budget and then you have a playbook to sort of execute. But like you have to try different things. Like the ice cream. I was like, we are going to rent an ice cream truck. But we're an ice cream company. Okay. Like we're trying to get moms with their young children at this community event and kids like ice cream.
But see, in my mind, what you did there was actually a step before marketing. You were like, before we market, which is now this like dirty term, right? Which is like, now it's like sales went from being sales is dirty. Now marketing is dirty. You went a step before that, which is like, how do I very plainly get the attention of the people first? And if I need to buy them a ice cream cone, I will buy them an ice cream cone. Yeah. I'll just do it. And then what? Well, then what's the next step? It's like, it's not while I'm handing you the ice cream cone, I go, hey, would you like to buy this plan? Would you like to buy this packet? No. Step one. Hey, I hope you enjoy that ice cream cone.
That's it.
And you wait and you do that 50 times. But yes, otherwise, the other important part of that, which is this a thing we're going to do? Is this a pillar? Are we going to plant our flag in this? Like, I would even say, like, if it's a big enough brand, I'd say screw renting an ice cream truck, buy one.
Buy one and hit the road.
At the end of the run, you can sell an ice cream truck. Trust me, my man. You can sell. It's a truck with refrigerators on it. You paid for a wrap. Someone's got to operate it. and then your hard cost is buckets of ice cream. I don't think Andrew's out back churning ice cream. Like, you're probably just going to buy it, right? Yes, good. and then I think that's right, which is, what is the ROI? I think it's the ROA, return on attention. Maybe we just invented a new KPI. Thank God there aren't enough KPIs.
Enough. Add it to this.
Return on attention, which is like, well, not even return on attention. What is the earned attention of this? McDonald's put their creepy CEO in front of a camera. They're not dumb, guys. They don't accident them way to this. There's had to be some, okay. Oh, I wanted to talk about Staples Baddie. Do you know who Staples Baddie is?
Oh, the girl on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to bring it up just for the visual. We know who she is. Staples Baddie. Yeah, I like this. Staples Baddie. And now the story, now you and I still have to look at this and go, wait, is this real? Or is this made up? So where'd that go? There we go. That's Staples Baddie. She has a real name. Kadeen Rowland, a.k.a. @BlivXX on TikTok. Not @Staples Baddie, because that wouldn't make any sense. She's a 22-year-old employee at Staples. She works like the print Photoshop counter. And she's like super deadpan on TikTok. And she's just like talking about pens and Post-it notes. And like, here's the thing. Here's what I hope happened. She's doing her job. And after her 7th day, she's like, I think I got this.
Yep.
I think I can handle this. And now she's just like, I'm walking around the store and I don't know, like, at 11:47 a.m., is Staples busy? So she's probably got some time on her hands.
Bored.
And she's bored. And she just started making deadpan humor about Staples stuff. And people ate it up. Why? Because it was authentic. And is she wearing a Staples shirt? Yeah, but people are okay with that because they're like, she's at work. We get it. I understand who the character is and what their setting is. And they have said there has been a noticeable increase in sales from Staples Baddie recording videos.
Good.
Here's my question to you. Would there have been a noticeable increase in sales if they had brought her in, put her through media training, vetted every one of her ideas, given her a better camera crew? Any of those improved it?
No, because we've seen this. You and I have seen this, right? Like, this is real, raw, non-branded content.
Authentic.
It's authentic. And we've seen this. So, and Staples supports it. Like, they are like, do your thing, Staples Baddie. It was, what was it? Chick-fil-A or someone.
Chili's.
No.
Chili's.
Someone.
The girl with the cheese.
There was someone like TikToking and they were like, no, you can't do this.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I forget who that was. But then the other flip side of it was Chili's. Some girl's just in Chili's with a phone and she like takes a bite of a mozzarella stick and the cheese is like 11 feet long. And she's like, oh my God, this is so cheesy. And next thing you know, people are like, well, give me that cheese.
Huh. I didn't see that one.
That was like from like 6-8 months ago. But I could have made that video with AI in 12 minutes. But people, they can smell it, man. People know when you're selling them. I say this all the time. My phrase, I don't even know if I coined this. I call it don't break the spell. Where if Andrea's on LinkedIn and you write well on LinkedIn and you're like this and this and this, don't you hate when? I fucking hate when. People, why do you always do this? And if somewhere 3/4 of the way through the post, you'd be like, why don't you book a discovery call with me? You are not back to zero in your points. You are now negative 14,000 points.
Oh man, I was like educating, you were providing some information here, and now you're selling to me.
Oh God, this whole thing was fake. That's why I don't like gentlemen's clubs. I get it. Like, you don't like me. You like me because I have $46 in my pocket. Got it. As soon as I walk in, I'm like, I'm good. Don't want to do. It's fake. It's too fake for me. People want authenticity. I worked at a healthcare organization. I won't say which one, but if you go to my LinkedIn, you can figure it out. And there were 2 women who were just really good at giving away documentation tips on the Instagrams. And then they were selling like guides for like $22. Like, they weren't buying a yacht with their, PDFs that they were giving away, but people loved it. And they do like a couple live streams. And I got brought into a meeting where they were like, how do we shut these people down? And I was like, What are you talking about? They have more Instagram followers than this company. They have more Instagram followers than this company. This company has fewer Instagram followers than the number of employees we have. Our own people don't follow us. And they were like, but they're taking our information. And I go, are they? These are just normal documentation tips. Well, we talk about it in like our meetings. And then next thing you know, 3, 7, 9 weeks later, it shows up on Instagram. And I go, why aren't you putting them on Instagram? And I got looked at like I was the dumbest guy in the room. Fast forward a couple of years later, those women don't work there anymore. And now most of their full-time job is the Instagrams. And I'm like, wow, that was a dumb. I mean, I worked there and I was like, I could be doing things, but it had to go through so many filters. I never got on there. I'm like, why'd you hire me to not put me on your own social media content? Walk me through that.
And that's what happens with like these branded accounts, right? It just gets super watered down or Frankensteined or safe. Mm-hmm. And that's what the output is.
Here's the reason, right? And I learned this in radio. You don't get beat. You don't fail from the song you don't play. And I'll give you a pitch. Let's say Andrea is you work for a record company. You work for Sony Records. And you're like, Jimmy, I'm going to come in my monthly visit to Scranton, where I used to run a radio station. You're like, I'm going to take you out to dinner. Great. That's building rapport. And you're like, I got this great new record. I don't know why they still call them records, but essentially I got a great new song. I want you to play it. And I'd be like, can I hear it? And they're like, don't you want to support this band? This band's great. I'm like, can I hear the song first? If it's great, I'll play it. If it's a great song from a nowhere band, I'll play it. If it's a crap song from a known band, I'll put it out there. But I'm going to ask the audience, hey, great band. What do you think of this song? And a boss taught me, you don't get beat by the songs you don't play. Because for 3.5 minutes, all you are is that song. Right. All you are is that song. That's it. Even if you're like, well, 99.999% of the time, we're awesome. For 3.5 minutes, if you're playing a turd, you are a turd. So this is why people will be like, why don't you guys play more risky stuff? It's like, because people leave.
They leave. That's all it takes. It's just, I don't like this.
But now, Andrea, it sounds like I'm arguing against myself. Well, then don't do anything different. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take some calculated risk. No risk is a risk. Lots and lots of risk is risk.
Right. And it's also know your audience, right? Like,
yes. That's it. Yes. I had to sit there and we did that whole stupid thing. I thought it was the dumbest exercise ever. I'm 23, 24 years old and we're building an avatar. And I'm like, we're never going to use this. I still use it to this day. If you listen to this podcast, my outro talks about, we have to read the disclaimer. And then like the voice guy talks to the lawyer, like, see, Keith, we did it. Keith was the name of the avatar. I'm still thinking of Keith. We built a whole universe. Keith married Karen, their high school sweethearts. They had Carl and Carrie.
So what you're saying we need avatars. You're saying we need
for every product, you should at least be like, who the hell would buy this? Because how are you supposed to make any good decision if you're like, would they like this? Like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to make this video and we're going to run a Fleetwood Mac song behind it. It's like our audience is 19. They're going to go, what's this old crap?
Although nowadays, I don't know, like Stevie Nicks.
Now
like,
or
festivals a couple of years ago and Stevie Nicks was like the big.
Right. Or hey, no, actually, we've been so far away now. The loop. Okay, then that makes sense. But you have to have a decision-making process.
You're exactly right. And I say, so the persona avatar thing, I do not work with anyone without creating a persona or an avatar because you need to know who you're talking to. Otherwise, you don't know what you're saying or what's going to work.
How do I make a decision between left or right if I don't know who the hell I'm giving directions to?
Right.
What? And I know it feels a lot of times when you sit down to do this with someone, maybe you felt this, they're sort of like, why are we doing this? This is like a stupid exercise. Yep. Maybe this exercise is only for me because I can't help you unless I know who it is you help. And just because you feel it in your bones doesn't mean you've talked it out. The best feeling, what's that feeling? Schadenfreude, where you're like, you sort of like someone else's pain.
Yeah.
Like I sort of I have a little schadenfreude when I'm in a meeting and everyone's like, I don't know why we're doing this exercise. Everyone here is already in agreement with who we do. And I ask like 4 questions and half the room is like, I don't think that's right. Now they're like, oh, this room of leaders of this organization don't know the answer to these questions, but this is a waste of time. And I'm just like,
I mean, it is. It's like, because the conversation that I have and you have as well is who's your audience? Like, who's your persona? That's who you think it is. Okay, cool. Let's figure out who your persona actually is. And it's
Now
the same thing with your customer journey. Like, it's literally in my checklist of starting to work with, give me your customer journey that you think it is. Cool. Okay, now we're going to document what it actually is.
I also like the added one, a little bit of, because I like to poke the bear. Do you talk to that person in this way? All the time. Awesome. Hey, on the big screen, can we bring up, let's do it. Hey, everybody, let's bring up your website, your Instagram, your YouTube, your LinkedIn. Excellent. Now, take as much time as you want. Can you show me 3 examples from the last 12 months where you did that? Or 1. And they're just, well, it's implied. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's implied. Thanks for coming out. Now it's like, huh. And that's usually like, I can tell how they react to that sort of stage, how the rest of this engagement is going to go, which is also why I'm like, you pay me up front. Because I'm not walking you all the way to this. Right. And then you'd be like, well, we want to put the brakes on. This looks like too much work. I'm like, I just cleared my schedule for you, my man. Like that, we're in for a penny, in for a pound.
Good stuff.
Research is showing patients trust short form video from real doctors more than traditional hospital advertising. Doctors explaining things on camera outperform polished commercials. I've worked with brands before, and I've said the phrase, your camera looks too good. And they're like, but it's a great camera. And I'm like, yes. But if you want me to trust me, I cannot look like you're talking to me from the top of Marvel Tower. Right. In Tony Stark's lab. I'm like, I need you to, if you're like ER, blah, 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 show me. I mean, phones are right there. Phones are right there. They're dead on exact. Because everybody has one, we trust that quality. But if you go for a $30,000 cinematography, blah, 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 blah camera, sorry. Yep. So this is research. And I know healthcare people love research, but ironically, there is research that says, if you start a phrase with research says, people believe what follows you less. I'm just showing, I won't say research says. What I will say is actual data from social platforms confirms that patients trust short form videos from real doctors. So why do people trust phone more than $1 million commercial? We understand that. Should clinicians become creators? Are we even past this? We know the answer to this question.
They should, but just like the McDonald's CEO is, it needs it's not every clinician.
Yeah.
But they absolutely, I mean, the number of healthcare professionals that I follow on Instagram is crazy, but they're real. And I make sure but that's the thing, right? Is like, they need to actually be real clinicians. And that's, I think, I think we've talked about this, is like large healthcare organizations are afraid to take the risk and put their clinicians out there, and they're doing it independently. Like we just said.
Correct. I can do it from my phone, but it's not the official account. You know how many times I worked at large hospital systems? I won't say which one, but if you go to my LinkedIn, you can figure it out. And there were physicians just in their offices. And then I was sent to interview them or do something online. And of course, I'm going to look at who they are. And I would know how this day was going to go. I worked with one dermatologist, looked him up, and I was like, oh, I don't have to, I can skip the first 9 pages of why we're doing this. Dude came with his own camera and ring light. I was like, we're going to have a good day. Don't worry about it. I got on and I was like, I'm going to take lessons from you today, and went swimmingly, and content came out. Great quality, great content. Could not have asked for a better peanut butter and jelly mashup. Short, sweet, to the point, but informative, but not too, nose in the air. And I was like, my man knows what's up. Love that. I also love the physicians who have never done it, but are they see me, or not just me, but someone who's I'm going to put some effort into this. And they're like, just tell me what to do. I'm excited. They're like, I get it, but I don't know how, they're like, I know I'm smart because I talk to people. And I'm like, I also love working with that person who's like, I need you to trust me a little bit. And then talking to a smart clinician, hey, here's why we're also going to have this. And they're like, got it. I love those. The ones that get online, they're like, I have 9 minutes and let's knock this out. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a turd, but I'm going to check the box.
Exactly.
So here's where I think the missing link is. If people are actually still listening to this, You have to give people the 3 T's and 3 P's. Have I ever talked about these? I made these up.
No.
3 T's, 3 P's. 3 T's, tools, training, and time. If you don't give me the right tools, and it could just be like a $90 microphone. If you're going to spend money on a microphone or a camera, spend it on a microphone. And I might be biased. Little ones. So tools, they have to know how to use it. Not only use the tools, but like the tool is also Instagram. How do I use that? Okay, structure, got it. Tools, training, and it can't be do it whenever. I'm very sorry. Do it whenever. Like you're even pissed off when the cleaning company says they're going to come twice a week and they don't. If it's not scheduled, and I'm very sorry. I know margins are thin. This is work.
That's right.
And if we're not designing it to get desired outcomes, and there could be different outcomes, this is work. And if it's not aimed at an outcome, then you're right. Then do whatever you want in your own time. Okay, so those are the 3 T's: tools, training, and time. And then from Marcus Lemonis, I stole the 3 P's: people, process, product. You have to have the right person. I can make a 6 and 8. I can't make a 4 and 8. Not now. Maybe in months I can, right?
Right.
People, process. There needs to be a repeatable process. You can't film a new Scorsese movie every day in the clinic. That's not possible. People, process, and then product. Like you actually have to have the clinic that delivers on what you just said. And if you don't, not. The product also has to be like, oh, this is acceptable. This is what the goal is. Number of 50 of these: frequency, intensity, time, type, volume, progression. So the 3 T's and the 3 P's. That's it.
And that's your clinician thought leadership program right there. Like take that and.
So my goal is, hey, how could I sell this? Because I don't want to be creating content for people every week. I don't want to be logging on. I'm like, here's the new Facebook, for a client. I want to come in, show your team how to do this, make them do it in front of, I'll fail in front of your team because it's all about getting over fear. So it's like a hackathon. I'll come in, dry erase board. We did something similar like this.
Yep.
Then the second half of the day is doing. Failing. Why'd that one fail? Oh, it took too long to get to got it. Rewrite the hook right now in front of me. And then walk out with 30 pieces of content made for the next 10 weeks and then go, now how many are you going to make per week going forward? And then let's check in a month. How's it? Is it working? Did Jimmy just sell me a bunch of crap? Is this not actually doing? Let's tweak it. How funny it is that especially my profession of physical therapy says it's all about repetition and you have to do it.
It's just where I was going with it, right? It's like PTs should get this. You can't just like go home and not do what they're telling you to do or do it whenever.
You paid. I didn't do it. I mean, how often do PTs mock? Client was, non-compliant. Oh yeah. I did an article today on LinkedIn. Here's how a video game designer, here's how a psychologist would structure home exercise programs. And we steal none of it. Here's how Apple does it. Rings on my wrist? Yeah. Why? Big dumb animal. Oh, but I don't know how to code rings on your wrist. Great. Don't. Ask everybody who comes in on your formal intake. Do you have Apple Watch? Yes. Or whatever. Any list. Do you wear a wearable? Yes. We're going to incorporate that. Oh, okay. I have met you where you are. We love that phrase. I will meet you where you are. Meet me at my Apple Watch, bro.
So Jimmy, you're asking the very organizations that can't even understand or honor, like, do you want to be communicated with via email or text? Now,
you're right.
But there's a solution, right? Like there's a way to fix this.
If the ship sank, what do you think the number 1 and 2 reasons would be? If your business went out of business in a year, if it's trending that way, and you looked back and did a post-mortem and you did an autopsy, what are the reasons? Well, we kept getting new patients, but then they kept leaving. Stop. Good. What should you have done, right? Everybody knows how to improve their relationship after they've broken up. All of a sudden, it's clear. You have that post-clarity, breakup clarity. A month later, you call the girl, maybe you text her, and you're just like, I'm sorry.
She doesn't answer.
She doesn't answer, but you're going to talk into her. I've never done this.
She's like, block.
But you're like, everything you said was right. So like you just didn't listen? Got it. So the answers were already in the room. The answers weren't mysteries. You didn't do any of them.
Right.
So,
I mean, and it's exactly why most of the time when I'm working with a provider organization, whether it's in PT or outside of PT, I'm doing it right now. Your marketing problem might not be a marketing problem, it might be an operational problem. Because if you keep getting new patients or new clients and then they're not coming back, what's broken? Like what?
Let's go through the reasons, and we'll just shout them out. They're the wrong people. So you found people and they came for the first. All right, so they're the wrong people. Good. Marketing problem, also operation. Tell me better why that person isn't the right person. So you got lots of the wrong people. What else?
Expectations.
Good. That was where I was going to go next, which is you sold me this. And when I showed up, it was this. And then I don't come back because you promised me something and you didn't deliver on the promise. Why would I come back?
Right. Part of that's the experience too, right? Like their expectations
all experience
better. Part of it's like your experience was awful.
Yes.
It's just not awesome.
Yes. I would say bad operations, no follow-up.
No follow-up.
Like, how is it? When is this going to be forever? Do I just come forever? Or is this a 10 visit thing? Ask your clinicians. Treat them like BDRs. SDRs, sorry. What's BDR? Yeah, it's business. Yeah, SDR, BDR. Yeah. Treat them like SDRs or BDRs, which is like before you hang up, or in like a clinician's case, before they leave, and don't make it as they're putting their coat on. They are psychologically already not listening to you.
They're done.
What is the next step should be clear halfway through the session. I'm going to go out on a limb there and say 50% of the way through whatever you're delivering, you sort of already have an idea of how often or how frequent or what the plan kind of looks like, right? You should halfway through. I'll be bold.
Yep.
If that person does not know, then your fault. That's an operations problem. Sorry.
And it's an operations problem if they're not getting a call after, if they're not getting text messages after, if they want email, whatever that may be.
Oh, I had a Facebook post.
I was just going to say, you posted about this the other day.
So many people were like, oh, they don't come back. How come? Who cares? And I'm like, you know how all right.
So much money on this is why marketing doesn't work, right? We spend
Andrea.
money getting that person to the door.
No, they don't spend any money. Everything's word of mouth to these people. I'm like, you understand earning word of mouth is marketing, my friends.
Right. So yeah, marketing doesn't work if you just let them leave. Like when I'm like, let's look at cancellation rates. Let's look at
selfish.
No shows. Let's look at people who haven't finished their plan. Like, let's look at it. Those are the lowest hanging.
But Andrea, I mean, look at all the letters after my name. They don't want it. They don't want this. They can suffer, like whatever. They don't want me. I don't chase them. I don't chase people. I'm not asking you to chase people. I don't chase my grandma. But when I call and she doesn't answer, and I call it like, screw grandma. Don't worry about it. I called. Check. I don't owe her anything anymore. Grandma left a voicemail in 2026 and she didn't call me back. No, I might call and check in.
Right.
Why? I don't know. I'm not a douchebag.
Right.
I don't know. But yes, so many people look at this and the comments were very telling about, like, some people were like in neuro and they're like, if I have to chase them, they're not my person. And I would just go, why are they leaving then? Are you not clear? Are they the wrong person? It's going to be one of those.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So that was very, very telling in terms of, we started on authenticity and Staples. What was her name again? Staples Bay?
Staples Baddie.
Staples Baddie. She's just like, looks goth.
She does.
She's wearing like a lot of eye makeup. She's very like fair skinned, but wearing like a lot of like metal.
Yes.
Some would call her goth, like if we were in the 90s.
If that still exists.
And it doesn't make any sense. If you went into a focus group and you were like, okay, we need, and I know this is a bad example, but like, we need a Jared from Subway for Staples.
Yep.
You would have designed a geek with glasses, pocket protector, maybe like get a little like cartoonish or caricature-ish.
Yeah. Probably like a geek squad, right? Person from like where was that, Best Buy. Right.
And that makes sense. And the reason I think this works and is working is nobody told her to do it. She did it her own way. That's why it's real. That's why it's resonating. And do you think Staples in 6 months will have screwed this up?
Well, it depends who's in charge and what they're like, right? Like, if they let her keep going, they're good. Keep going.
All right. So you're in the seat. you are the person who could screw this up or not screw this up. What are the 3 things you would do, or 2 things you would do, and what are the 2 things you wouldn't do?
Well, I think the things I would do goes back to what you just said with your T's and your P's, right? Is like, let's like try to make sure we have some, now that it's on our radar, let's at least be engaging with her. What I wouldn't try to do, I wouldn't put a firm structure in place.
She works really well with that one.
I would monitor her. I would monitor to see what she's doing, because now she is a representative of our brand. Before, she was like this rogue Staples baddie, but now she's our representative and there's visibility. I would pay her to do what she's doing, right? Like not the minimum wage that she's making, but I would not go, this is what you need to do.
I would go full Marilyn Manson. No, not what you think.
Okay.
Marilyn Manson was blamed for school shootings in Columbine in Colorado. Someone interviewed Marilyn because of his music and his lyrics.
Okay.
Marilyn Manson was interviewed months or years later and said, what would you have said to those 2 kids who went into that school and committed a school shooting? And he said, I would have listened to them. Nobody listened. Everybody kept pointing their fingers at Marilyn Manson's the blame. And Marilyn Manson, of all people, was like, I would have shut up and listened to them. So like, they were essentially saying, if you, a month before that happened, what would you have said to them? Those kids have been told all their life what to do, how to do it, how not to do it. Didn't work. So I would fly her and 3 of her best friends to wherever corporate is, and I would assemble, not a boardroom. I would assemble be like, hey, we want to bring you out here. I want to learn all about, who are you? Who are you? Why do you work here? Tell us about you. Why here? You could work at 20 other places. Why are you in the copy department at Staples? And then we'll just shut up and listen. Then what? Like, tell me about this. You started shooting TikToks about Staples? Turns out she's passionate about pens, or I don't know, but there's a reason. And then I wouldn't turn into an overproduced anything. I would look for breadcrumbs in all of her answers. She's the teacher here. She's teaching corporate people who have 6-7-figure jobs how TikTok works. Yep. And they're still being like, well, how do we get the ROI? And that would be the worst question to ask Staples baddie. I would just bring her out. I would bring her friends just so she's not like coming to a meeting. I'd be like, have your friends go to the resort. Why don't you come to Staples HQ? You're paid, by the way. If you want this, like, is this something you want to keep doing? No, ask if she wants to keep doing it.
Right.
Maybe it was just like a thing she did. And she's like, I'm done. I don't like the attention. I wanted to be fun. Like some people, like when things pop off, like, oh, this wasn't what I wanted.
I was just doing this stupid thing. I wanted my friends to see it. It was like silly.
Or you share it for shares. People don't always learn guitar to play at the Grammys.
Right.
Sometimes they learn it to just do it themselves. So like putting her in front of like a Super Bowl commercial a year from now could be the worst thing to do.
So
anti. Anyway, all right, we're at time. Parting shot. What's the thing that stuck out? Without thinking, what's the lesson that stuck out?
Get yourself a Staples baddie and then let her do a thing.
They're already in your organization. How about this? Here's how to find that person. Email everybody in your company. Hey, who makes PT content? Who makes healthcare content on any platform? We're just interested. Reply back with your handle and then spend the entire day learning who your employees are when they're not at work. That's authentic. So I think my parting shot would be authenticity. I'm very sorry. You cannot manufacture authenticity. Do you know how I create it during podcast interviews or live streams like this? Frequency, intensity, time, type, volume, progression. Those are exercise principles. Like I understand, unless the person has been doing this a lot, that the first 5 minutes are going to be weird. So if I run into someone at CSM or on a Zoom call that I'm going to record with them, and if I'm reading them and they're stiff, I'll pretend that my equipment, I have to restart my microphone thing. But hey, how are you? Where are you from, man? Like I'm going to ask them bullshit questions.
Just
why?
Again.
I need them to blow out 300 words, and the words don't matter. I need you to be the most you can be in an awkward situation when you know you're being interviewed or recorded. The most. Staples baddie doesn't have that. She has her phone. She records about what she wants, when she wants it, how she wants it. And then I'm sure she records a bunch or makes a bunch. Is like, and then deletes it. That's okay. That's good. Great. You can screw up authenticity, and it will not bring you back to zero. It won't just be a waste of time, effort, and money. You will lose points. It will be negative 700 points for Gryffindor. That's how it works. That's how it works. I don't make the rules, but that's how it works. All right, we're back next week. More stuff. Remember, healthcare marketing does not work unless.
That's it for this one, but we're just getting warmed up. Smash follow, send it to a friend, or crank up the next episode. Want to go deeper? Hit us at ptpintcast.com or find us on YouTube and socials at ptpintcast. And legally, none of this was advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. See, Keith, we read the script. Happy now?